Hello everybody, it's Aaron, back from Screen Stars, and I'm here once again to do another review for Geek Legion of Doom. And today I'm here to review the 2018 drama thriller with a little bit of science fiction mixed in there for good measure. Prodigy. No, not this Prodigy. This Prodigy. Now this is, like I said, a drama thriller science fiction, and thankfully this review isn't going to be too long, because painfully this movie went on for far too long for me. This film was nearly 2 hours long, and it was very, very painful to watch in a lot of ways. So as you can guess from that statement, this isn't a film that I particularly enjoyed, guys. And we'll get into that a little bit later. What is this film about? Well, if you've seen the film Midnight Special, the Michael Shannon movie of a couple of years ago, you've seen this movie. This film is almost a remake of that movie in many, many ways. But while the Midnight Special movie focused more on science fiction, this film has a more religious overtone. And it focuses on a young boy, a teenager, who basically can speak to God, or so it seems, and he has predicted a world-ending event, if you like. He's predicted 3 events that have taken place in the world, even though it doesn't go into depth what those events were and what happened, but they were catastrophic apparently, and he predicted the first 2. And the third one, he's claiming, is going to be happening in about 6 days. And obviously, he's under house arrest for the government, kind of. They're trying to find out as much information as they can from him to prepare for this and all that kind of stuff. And he has an estranged father, whom he basically says to the government, I'm not going to tell you anything about this third event if I can't speak to my father. So the government brings the father on board. The father decides to spring him from the nasty government. They go on the run, hide in the woods, and that's basically the story then. They go on the run from the government and all these other nasty people that have been hired to track them down. Now, like I say, if you've seen, Midnight Special, that's basically the same story in Midnight Special. That's exactly what happens in that film. I couldn't believe watching it, because even though it's a couple of years old, Midnight Special, I've only fairly recently watched and reviewed that film, so it was quite fresh in my mind, and it just staggered me how much this film was like that. Now, it might have the same story beats as Midnight Special, but in regards to quality, it is way off, this film. I've had to really, really struggle to find positives for this film, but I've found a couple. So we'll get rid of the positives first. This film, even though it's low budget, actually looks okay. It doesn't look really low budget. It's filmed with a decent quality, decent sound design, and it looks okay. It looks reasonably polished. For me, that's it. It really is, guys. This film is nearly 2 hours long, and it drags. It really, really drags, and it's littered with terrible performances, in my opinion. The two central characters here are the father and the teenage son, who's predicting these events, who's got this gift. And the teenage son, the actor who plays the teenage son, good luck to you, mate, and I hope you have a really, really successful career, but it was a terrible performance. It was supposed to, he's supposed to be this charismatic person that's speaking to God. It was awful. One-tone performance, and I just didn't enjoy it. And the guy playing his father, who was supposed to be trying to reconnect with his son, it was emotionless for the majority of his performance, and the rest of the film is just littered with terrible to bang average performances that really, really take you out of this movie. And for a movie that's a drama, you need strong performances, and for a movie as long as this, you need performances that are going to hold your attention. And this story primarily is about a father reconnecting with his son, and I didn't buy any of their performances. It just didn't work for me. It's littered with ridiculous plot points. His plan to spring his son from this military hold is just ridiculous. They're out walking in the woods with, like, you know, 10 soldiers behind carrying weapons, and he's got one handgun, the father. He basically nods to his son to start running, fires a couple of shots in the air, and they're off. And they escape just like that. The military don't even bother chasing them. There's a retreat in the woods that this woman in a bar helps them find. But she doesn't know the way, even though she claims she knows the way. They're walking in the woods, getting lost everywhere. There's no phone reception, even though she's been there many times before. She seems surprised that there's no phone reception. I don't want to continually list all the faults that there are with this film, because there just are so many. It's just a snore fest. It's boring. The payoff isn't good enough, and it did not hold my attention. And I found it pretentious, frustrating, and confusing. This film, but just, you know, and I don't think that's going to get on the poster. That tagline: pretentious, frustrating, and confusing. But it is. So I would say avoid this film, guys. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. I didn't connect with this film at all. And if you want to watch a film like this, go and watch Midnight Special. It's infinitely better than this. So thank you very much for watching, guys.